So, really excited to have Delia here to help add to our NBS X Factors series where we're talking to successful NBS reps to get some of their insights on how they ramped fast and were able to consistently stay at the top. So to kick things off, would love to hear what office you're working in and maybe a fun fact as well.
Okay, so I work in the Mountain View office. I'm likely training all of you right now. And a fun fact about me is that I really like old people romantic comedies, so things like It's Complicated or Something's Gotta Give. I'm a huge fan of Diane Keaton.
Cool, awesome. Good to know. So let's talk about something close to the present. I'm going to ask you some questions about the past as well, but if we think about last quarter, what were some of the major changes you made in your approach to have a successful Q2 in 2014?
Yeah, so unlike previous quarters where it was kind of like me running ahead of just like barely beating my quota, I had a really locked in plan for Q2. So by April 1st, I knew where probably $900,000 was coming from, and then was able to make up, some money in quarter, but felt really confident. So had reserve buys done, had things locked in, a lot of like verbal commits with with like verbal, actual written commitments. So it's a little bit easier when you've been planning out for months than kind of like grasping at straws.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, definitely saw that you had some of those benefits and were able to think about the next quarter ahead, which has been kind of a theme as we've been talking to other reps as well. So in putting together a successful quarter, I'm curious, just looking at your skill set, what do you think has helped you be a fast ramper and a consistent top performer as well?
Yeah, so one thing is when I started, I just asked a ton of questions. So I'm really into learning, and I always have to kind of like that annoying kid that asks why a million times. So be a pest, and then I'm actually really efficient with process, so I like following the rules and get everything done. So being really organized and knowing what you have to do to get that done and following up will really help you just be organized and get things actually on the books.
Yeah, you're great at asking questions in meetings where we're probably all afraid to ask, but you're courageous on that side. That's actually kind of interesting. Do you have an area where you think you've learned the most or maybe grown the most, and you look back on your time here at NBS?
Yeah, so I think what I've learned the most, and I've learned it from reps that have like the opposite set of skills that I do, like Matt and Neil, who are great reps, but they've really taught me that to pitch you actually have to sell, and sometimes I just am like giving them features and doing a bunch for them and not getting anything in return. So trying to get a lot of buy-in from your clients, and then also just being able to ask for, understanding it's business, and asking for money is not asking them for like their personal bank account number. So just being really business about it, and you are doing them a service, so getting a budget is good.
Cool. Yeah, that's a great takeaway. So let's go back into time. It's the middle of last year, and you're getting ready to start NBS. In your first month, what are the top 3 things that you would focus on?
Yeah, so one thing I would do is immediately get on the tenured reps radar, set up meetings, ask them a ton of questions, best practices. I think everyone's willing to share and kind of give you best tips, and there's a lot you can learn from it because people have a lot of regrets, so hopefully you can get past that. And then I would start looking for big names. So a lot of times we look for quick wins when we get started because we're really worried about getting dollars in the door and proving ourselves. But if you're really strategic, you'll think bigger and longer term sales, because you're going to have a smaller ramp quota now, but down the line it's going to be $700,000. And you're going to need like those big long-term sales wins. So just kind of thinking long-term even when you start. Awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun to see you have a lot of success with some of the bigger companies. Those are names that you can take with you throughout your career at Google. So, this has been really, really awesome to get your input and insights, and just want to say thanks for sharing. Appreciate it.
Thank you.